Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm your host Ryan Renfro, and today we are joined by men's head basketball coach, Coach Phil Cunningham. Coach, thank you so much for coming in and joining us today.
Ryan, great to be here.
Yes, sir. I do want to start off by asking you guys just started practice recently. How's the team looking so far heading into this season?
Well, we're allowed 20 hours a week by the NCAA to practice, so we're taking advantage of every minute we can get. And we started last Monday. We're in 2 days. We practice about 3 days a week, twice a day, and the other days we go once. And it's really going well. We've got a lot of experience back, something that we haven't had since we've been here as a staff. And that's important, particularly early in practice, because the experience allows you to move on really fast with what you're trying to put in. And that's been a pleasant change for us from the past.
How challenging is that? I didn't know that, the 20 hours thing a week. How challenging is that?
Well, you've got to be a mathematician to try to piece it all together, because everything counts. If you watch video, that counts. If they lift weights, that counts. If you're stretching, that everything counts. And there's a lot of things you can do besides just practice. And so we just have to juggle it. And you have to keep a balance with how fresh their legs are, and you can't wear them out because they're not as ready now as they're going to be 2 weeks from now from a physical conditioning standpoint. So it's kind of tricky. Sometimes the players they watch it as closely as we do.
Yeah. So talking about keeping with that, you're talking about the experience. You guys also, I do want to hit. You guys have a Florida transfer. We've heard his name a lot this preseason. Can you talk about him and how he's kind of gelled into the team?
Yeah, Devon Walker is a young man who took advantage of the NCAA's grad transfer rule. He was an all-SEC academic guy 4 years in a row at Florida, and he had an injury 1 year, so that allowed him to graduate and still had a year's eligibility left. So as soon as his name hit the wire as an available transfer, we jumped in there because we knew he was 6'5", 6'6", an athletic wing with size that we haven't had in the past. We've been playing kind of two shooting guards on the wing together, and we really felt like he met a need that our team really had in terms of size and athleticism on the wing. And you never know about a guy like that until you get him here, how he's going to fit in with your team. And he's been terrific. It's been all about Troy, and he's a team guy all the way, and he just really brings a different level of toughness and winning experience to the table that our team needed.
And with him coming into Troy, how has he kind of fit in with the team? I know a lot of times when you come to a new place, it can be a difficult transition for some people. How has he kind of molded himself into the way this team performs?
Well, the thing that stands out about Devon is he's got a personality that he's more about serving than himself, and so he's been a great teammate, and that's very important when a guy walks in for 1 year. And comes onto a team that has 9 out of its top 10 players back. His attitude has really been contagious in terms of being all about the team, and so we've been very pleased with his approach to that.
Gotcha. Now, you just mentioned it, 9 out of 10 returning players from last year's team. Can you talk about how those guys are looking, returning to the team this season as we prepare for the beginning of this year?
Well, we've got, like I said, 8 out of our top 9 that played last year, and then Alex Hicks, who was sitting out, who's a really talented young man who's we think has a chance down the line to be one of the better players in the Sun Belt Conference. And 4 starters out of those 8 out of 9. Yeah, Alex is a guy people don't know about. People have no idea how good he is. And we sat him out last year, but he was worth the wait for this year. But again, 4 starters back. Daniel Peace started every game at the point last year. Jeremy Holloman started most of the games on the wing. Wesley Person started every game, and Jordan Minardo started every game. So we've got a wealth of experience back that we haven't had since we've been here.
Gotcha. So, and speaking with the experience, let's move to the new guys, the freshmen. Can you talk about maybe how they've kind of molded themselves into this team and who's kind of stuck out so far?
Well, Ryan, we've added 2 junior college transfers, Juan Davis and Kevin Baker, and both of them have really been impressive. Juan is a different level athlete. He's a 6'8", can run and jump, can shoot the 3. We're trying to get him to use his athleticism around the rim more. But he's a great kid and just has a potential to really grow because this is the best competition he's played again. We really felt like we needed to improve our athleticism in the post, and Juan's definitely done that. Kevin Baker is a point guard who can shoot. We felt like we needed a point guard who could shoot, and he's done that. We just got to get him better in all the other areas, but he's played well. And then we've got a freshman, our only true scholarship freshman, Darian Adams, from Montgomery Carver High School, and he's a guy that people don't talk a lot about because Alex was sitting out. We've brought in Devon and Juan and Kevin. But Darian is a guy we're super excited about. We've been wanting to get a guy to Carver High in Montgomery since we've been here because they have such a winning tradition. But Darian's really talented. He's in a fight with a bunch of older guys for playing time, but he does some things you can't teach. He can really shoot it, and he really has a great basketball IQ.
Gotcha. And in the season, you guys leave us for a pretty good minute. You guys go to, I think it's Illinois, and then you guys go to California, and then Hawaii, correct?
We do. We open up with 2 home games, and then we go on the road because we try to schedule our road games in the first semester during Thanksgiving week or during the week after finals end because we miss so much class during the second semester, so we don't need to miss any first semester. But we do. We take one heck of a trip. We play at Eastern Illinois on a Monday, fly out to San Francisco and play them on Wednesday, turn around Thursday morning, Thanksgiving Day, and fly to Hawaii and play them on Friday night. Now, the good thing about the Hawaii game was they were so desperate to play the game, we agreed to play it, but they also invited us and guaranteed us a spot in the Rainbow Classic next year, which is one of the most probably oldest, more traditional preseason tournaments in the country.
How exciting is that for I guess for you and for your players to be able to, it may be it's not going to be fun leaving your home crowd for 3 games straight, but to be able to go on the road and play, caliber opponents like that, and how exciting is that?
Well, I hope it's really exciting for our players. As coaches, we'll be so wrapped up in our opponent. It just doesn't matter where you are. You're just looking at that laptop and studying what's coming next. But we always try to do something with our players. Last year, we played at Seton Hall, and then that next day we took them down to Times Square and let them walk around. And we just feel like through scheduling, we can give them some kind of cultural opportunity that they may not have had otherwise. And so they're going to get 2 trips like this. We're going out to West Coast twice. We go back in December, play at USC in Los Angeles, play at Wyoming, and then we meet. That's part of a tournament that ends in Las Vegas. So they're going to take a couple of West Coast trips and learn something about that side of the country.
That'll be very fun. I'm kind of jealous. I've always wanted to go out to the West Coast.
You need to go
to the
with
East
us.
Coast. I would love to. And sticking with that, you guys, how I guess I'll move to recruitment. Like those kinds of trips out to the West Coast and playing those caliber opponents. You mentioned USC. How does that affect recruitment moving forward?
It has a small impact. I mean, lots of times, as a new recruiter or when you're being recruited, you want to see the schedule, you want to make sure you're playing quality opponents, particularly in the non-conference. And so we take a look at that when we can. The big thing for us is to try to get home games. It's really difficult to get home games in here, but we've got South Florida coming in this year from the American Athletic Conference, so we try to get at least one opponent from a really recognizable conference each year.
How's the overall the Sun Belt Conference looking going into the season, the quality of play?
Well, I don't think it's going to miss a beat. It's been one of the best mid-major conferences in the country lately. At our level in basketball, the way to judge how good your conference is how good is your team who wins the league. How do they do in the NCAA tournament? That'll tell you where you stack up in mid-major basketball. And if you look at our league, in the last 2 years, the team who won our tournament, they've won games in the NCAA. Georgia State beat Baylor 2 years ago. Little Rock knocked off Purdue in the first round last year. We've also had, in the last 3 years, we've had 2 players from our league been drafted into the first round, including 1 lottery pick in Alfred Payton from Louisiana Lafayette. So that tells you that right off the bat that in our league, we better be talented. We better have players good enough to play with guys like that. And you better put together enough of them to have a really good team because the competition is, again, I think one of the best mid-major conferences in the country.
I'm very excited to watch you and these guys play. I cannot wait. Now, moving into Trojan Madness, is going to be coming up here pretty soon. Can you talk about what that means for the basketball program to be able to come out in front of the home crowd?
Well, Chick-fil-A has been a corporate sponsor. We had an ownership change at our local Chick-fil-A, but the new owner's on board again this year, and it's going to be on October 25th. Maybe the 26th, we should know here in the next few days. But it's been a really exciting event for not only for our players, but from our university community. The students have come out. I think one of the keys is we've got to make sure the Sound of the South is out again. They've been tremendous, and it's just an exciting time to introduce the team to the fans and to the students in particular. It's kind of the student event, and get them to know the players and have a little dunk contest and three-point contest and let them play a little bit and then move on. But it's been a really good event, and we're just excited about doing it again this year. It'll be our 3rd year in a row doing it.
Once again, I know I'm very excited. I know a lot of people are excited to watch you guys play. And Coach, thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate
and good luck to you guys
as
the season comes. And thank you for tuning in as well. Be sure to stay up today on all Trojan Sports on Troy Trojan Vision Nightly News. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and go Trojans.